What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks bringing you another episode of Top Battles of the Week, where I feature some of the best battles that the community has submitted to me throughout the week and feature them in this video. As always, if you would like your gameplay featured in this video, there's information down in the description on how to submit that footage. And without further ado, let's get right into these battles. Alright, first up we have Dan Ottawa, who has actually been featured on this segment a couple of weeks in a row now, and he just recently let me know that he also is a YouTube content creator, so make sure to check out his channel. But let's jump right into this battle here. We have Ambient into Obstagoon. This is an absolutely terrible lead, and so we're gonna safe swap the Pelipper. Out comes Venusaur. Dan also has a Hypno sitting in the back, which is going to be really tough against that Obstagoon as well. So building up a lot of energy with this Pelipper. Winning switch here doesn't even necessarily help Dan out that much because he's double weak to Obstagoon, but able to win switch, has a lot of energy stored on the Venusaur, and out comes an Alolan Marowak. So gonna throw a Weather Ball and then makes a really nice play here, preserves the Pelipper in the back, knowing that Pelipper is essentially gonna have to take out all three Pokemon, and Umbreon and Hypno are just dead weight here. So goes back into the Umbreon. Just going to be able to chip away with last resorts here. And this Obstagoon luckily doesn't even have Cross Chop. They're most likely running Night Slash and Gunk Shot, or maybe Hyper Beam as a secondary move. Even though this Obstagoon is boosted, this Umbreon is putting in so much work, gets the final shield, goes for a snipe with the Pelipper, has back-to-back Weather Balls, and is able to take out that Marowak despite that very, very difficult lead. Good game. Up next, we have Hoemr. We have a Lapras into a Lantern. This is not great at all, and I believe this is in a Sylph Commander Cup tournament battle. Luckily, it is a Water Gun Lantern, but these Thunderbolts are going to hit for a lot of damage against this Lapras. Both Pokemon are hitting for resisted damage with their fast move. Hoemr is actually going to store up all that energy on the Lapras and then make a swap into the Hypno here, and the opponent makes a really, really nice catch of this Shadow Ball onto the Alolan Muck. Very nice play. And this is going to be very, very tough for Hoemr because that Lantern still has stored energy and he's down a shield, and this Alolan Muck is a very solid response to the Hypno. Down goes the Hypno. Hoemr has their own Alolan Muck in the back. Going to bring out the Lapras and immediately go for a Skull Bash here. Not even going to mess around with the Surf. The opponent lets it go through and then gets a little bit more farm with the Lapras. That's very good. But this Lantern has loaded energy once again. This Thunderbolt is still going to do a lot of damage even with the defense boost, so has to shield it up, continuing to farm up energy. This is going to be another Thunderbolt coming in, but this defense boost is barely going to allow the Lapras to survive. Going to store that energy and instantly go into the Alolan Muck. Down 2 shields, but this is a very solid answer to the Hypno, the Alolan Muck. So timing of the charge moves here is pretty important. To guarantee that this Hypno does not get too much excess energy here. Gets a shield on that Dark Pulse, throws one Snarl, and then throws another Dark Pulse. Good timing there. The Hypno has to double shield, but this Hypno has a good amount of energy. Probably going to throw another Elemental Punch here. Going to throw another Fire Punch. Alolan Muck is able to survive and able to get to this Dark Pulse to take out this Hypno. Lapras is very close to a Skull Bash. Going to swap the Lapras right there. Get the one Ice Shard needed to get to this Skull Bash. Down goes the Lantern and down goes the Hypno. Very nice game, Hoemr. Up next we have buhustallion. We have a Rainy Cast Form into a Skarmory. This is a fairly neutral match, but look at this backline that buhustallion is running. This is not Little Cup, folks. This is not Little Cup. This is Great League, and that looks like a Galarian Ponyta and a Alolan Sandshrew sitting in the back, almost powered up to 1500 CP, so definitely like level 50 or level 51 best buddy boosted on those Pokemon. Gonna fully let this cast form go down because the Sandshrew actually has a really good matchup against this Skarmory. Gonna go for a Night Slash here. Anyone out there use Sandshrew in the Little Cup? I know I did. It was a really fun pick, but this is Open Great League battling with the big fully powered up Pokemon here. Going to... Oh, okay, the opponent switches out. Does not want to get farmed down by this Sandshrew. Gets a shield off the Night Slash from the Machamp. And out comes this little pony. This thing is looking fabulous. Gonna shield up that cross chop, even though it would have been resisted, but who knows how bulky this is? I sure don't. Gonna go for a play rough. Down goes the Machamp. It's an Azumarill in the back. So it looks like Galarian Ponyta is pure Psychic typing, so this play rough does not get stab damage on it, as opposed to if it was evolved to a Rapidash. I believe it does have that Fairy Psychic typing. Yikes, down goes the pony. Down goes the pony. But look at this patience. Look at this patience from buhustallion. Has the move stored, but the opponent's going to try to catch on their Skarmory. Farming, farming, farming. Beautiful patience. Farms down the Skarmory. Even better fast move timing there. Through one Powder Snow and then is going to queue up this Gyro Ball. And able to get to this nice slash to take out this Azumarill. Amazing team and really nice gameplay there, buhustallion. Up next we have Not Me Zircon. Charizard into Swampert. This is a disaster of a lead. Looks like we are playing in Ultra Premier. Going to safe swap the Sirfetch'd. And then the opponent tried to catch a Leaf Blade on the Tangrowth. But you know what I say at this channel? Never bait unless you have to. Boom! Trademark of Zionic there. The Brave Bird lands and one-shots the freaking Tangrowth. Out comes the Swampert once again. And this little bird is going to town. Able to get to this Leaf Blade. Swampert does outpace the Sirfetch'd to these Leaf Blades. And they had loaded energy. But Not Me Zircon is going to preserve this Sirfetch'd. This little bird has some more work to do. Switch Clock barely comes up. Clear the debuff. Able to mirror with their own Swampert. Gets hit by a Hydro, but that opposing Swampert is in range of one Hydro Cannon. Little bit of lag and loses the CMP tie here, but this Swampert should barely survive. Be able to get off this Hydro Cannon. Let's see if the opponent wants to commit their final shoot. Gonna no bubble this. Gonna no bubble this because wants more farm. I guess with one of the other Pokemon. That was actually kind of a crazy undercharge there. Man, this Dragon Claw is gonna really sting for this Shadow Dragonite. Looks like a Wing Attack Charizard though. Gonna be able to chip with this Dragon Claw. Gets the final shield and then goes for the combo play with the Sirfetch'd. The Sirfetch'd is barely able to get to this Brave Bird before this Dragonite is able to get to another Dragon Claw. Hits the Excellent, down goes the Dragonite, and Sirfetch'd literally took out that entire team. Good game. Up next we have King of Simps 31. We have a G-Fisk into a Rainy Cast form. This is absolutely terrible. Going to immediately go into the Pelipper, and the Rainy Cast form is staying in, building up some energy. And then they swap into a Ninetales. So because of this significant energy advantage, can potentially try to fight for swap here, or at least come out of this matchup with a shield advantage. So gonna be able to get to another Weather Ball. That's really, really good because it's gonna pressure the opponent to commit a shield. So not able to regain switch, but able to come out of that with a shield advantage. That's pretty much the best that you can hope for when you're hard countered in the lead like that. Gonna bring out the G-Fisk. Definitely don't shield. Gonna be able to farm this down and have some loaded energy for that Rainy Cast form. Does not want to get farmed though. Tried to even catch a Weather Ball on the Venusaur, but the opponent knew that a swap was going to be coming. Luckily, this Venusaur does have an energy advantage going into this endgame. Goes for a Frenzy Plant bait here to try to guarantee that they can get to this Sludge Bomb, because you have to shield out these Weather Balls from the Abomasnow. And able to get to this Sludge Bomb here, Venusaur would win the CMP tie against the Abomasnow. This Sludge Bomb is going to be enough to take out the Abomasnow. Out comes the Cast form. This Water Weather Ball is not going to be enough to KO, but it's going to put it in Water Gun down range. Does a little bit of Vine Whip damage and then swaps into the G-Fisk. This Weather Ball is going to do a lot of damage. Needs to get to this Earthquake here. Barely able to get to this Earthquake. And this is going to do enough damage to take out that Cast form. Able to come back from that very tough team comp. Good game. Up next, we have 23 EJB, and apologies here, looks like the name got put in the middle of the screen instead of off to the side, but we can still see what's going on. We have a Wobbuffet on a Medicham. This is going to be a long and painful matchup. I believe I even fast-forwarded this video faster than normal, because when I saw these bulky Pokemon, I knew it was going to be a long battle. This Wobbuffet does not care about anything. Gonna go for the return here because Mirror Coat is such a terrible move. Return does a decent amount of chip damage here. Out comes Shadow Polytoad. Does not have an immediate response to this, so might as well just stay in with this incredibly bulky Wobbuffet. We got a lot of notifications coming down. Lots of stuff happening on the screen here. Going to tank this Shadow Weather Ball. Does a decent amount of chip damage. Going to go for the return here. Again, Mirror Coat is such a bad move that unless it's hitting for super effective, return is the way to go. Going to bring out the barrel here to try to catch a Weather Ball and successfully able to do it. That's great. This Polytoad is just going to Weather Ball Spam City here, folks. This is most likely going to be a timeout game with how spammy these Pokemon are and how bulky a lot of these Pokemon are. Able to tank that Weather Ball and barely get to this Hyper Fang. Good job committing to this energy here. Down goes the Polytoad. Out comes Medicham. And immediately going to bring out the Wobbuffet once again. This lick damage is really adding up. It stores a return and then is going to catch on the Lickitung in response. The counters from the Wobbuffet were doing a good amount of damage to the Lickitung as well. Gonna throw this Body Slam. Both Lickitungs are relatively similar on energy right now. But I expect the Medicham to eventually come back in, and luckily that Wobbuffet is loaded with energy in the back. It does have a return stored. Gonna tank this Body Slam, over farming slightly, and gonna throw the Body Slam right here before getting to another move, anticipating that the Medicham is going to come back in at some point in time here, but actually catches the Body Slam on the Wobbuffet, and is going to farm up a little bit more, and then actually throw a Mirror Coat here. Trying to burn a shield and successfully gets the shield. Does not get to another move though. Able to burn this Body Slam and get rid of this Lickitung. The Medicham is going to be coming back in. It's a Psycho Cut Medicham. It's a Psycho Cut Medicham. So it is not running counter. It's not hitting for super effective. Needs to get to this Body Slam. I believe the match timer is coming up here very soon. And that was just enough to take the match there from the timeout. Good game. Up next, we have S. Jonah NL. What in the world is this thing? Pangoro. Okay. And look at this team. This is a triple bear team. This is a triple bear team. We got a Panda Bear in the lead. We got a Ursaring and a Beartic in the back. I did not even know what moves this Pangoro has, but it looks like it's running Snarl and then has access to Night Slash and Rock Slide. This Rock Slide will hit for super effective on the Galvantula. Oh my gosh, even debuff that did a lot of damage there. Going to let the Pangoro go, but actually survives and then swap into Ursaring to farm this down with Shadow Claw. Oh my goodness. And it looks like we're playing in Open Ultra because that is a Giratina. This is a Purified Return Ursaring, which this is very bad. Even though the Shadow Claws are hitting for super effective damage, both of these moves are double resisted. So, gonna try to burn out the Switch Clock here. Gonna throw that Close Combat. And actually going to shield to preserve this Ursaring. Really needs to run out the Switch Clock here. So, forced to throw a Close Combat. But eventually needs to make a move into another Pokemon. That Close Combat does not do that much damage. This is a Charm Beartic, and it is hard punished by a Melmetal. That is not good. Oh, we are checking all the notifications mid-battle. Oh my goodness. Beartic is a pure Ice type, and so that Rock Slide did hit for super effective. Gonna throw this Surf here. Gets the final shield. Is very close to a Close Combat on the Ursaring, which would hit for enough damage to take out this Melmetal here. Oh man, this is still going to be tough. Gonna bring out the Ursaring here, immediately go for this Close Combat. The Shadow Claw damage is going to add up on that Giratina, but they potentially have a move stored. A little bit of lag, out comes the Giratina, able to catch the move on the Panda Bear. Very nice, and then able to Shadow Claw down the Giratina. Oh my gosh. But the Giratina is actually barely able to take out the Ursaring. I had to include that battle in this video anyways because that team was so cool to watch. So thank you for submitting that battle. Even though they did not win, that team was really, really cool to see. Up next, we have Tabar199024, Venusaur into Vigoroth. This is a fairly neutral matchup. If Vigoroth is able to sneak in any extra counters, this does become favorable for the Vigoroth. So gonna no shield this first body slam here, farming up a little bit more, and then gonna go for the frenzy plant here. No extra counter goes through, and gets a shield off of the Vigoroth. Going to shield in return and needs to get to another frenzy plant here. Has a Pelipper and a G-Fisk in the back, so definitely does not want the G-Fisk to see this Vigoroth, that is for sure. Gets the final shield, and at this point it's kind of risky to commit that second shield because you don't know if you're going to get to the frenzy plant. So lets it go, and then going to bring out Pelipper here. That Vigoroth is in range of a Weather Ball, but going to overfarm with the Pelipper and get a little bit more stored energy. I really like this play. Going to let the body slam go through, overfarming, and then knows that the Pelipper wins the CMP tie. So gonna force it all the way up to the CMP tie. That's great. Galvantula comes out and is barely able to save that Pelipper and transfer the Volt Switch damage onto this G-Fisk. Very surprised that the Galvantula is even throwing a move there. Out comes Whiscash, and this is not looking good. How are you gonna handle that Galvantula and this Whiscash? So definitely just gonna go straight for the Earthquake. But this G-Fisk is debuffed. And the opponent farms up the perfect amount, not allowing the G-Fisk to get to this Earthquake. Has to let that go. Pelipper has so much work to do here. Gonna farm up as much as possible. The Galvantula does not have a move stored, so actually needs to shield this Mud Bomb. Farming, expecting the opponent to come in with the Galvantula, barely able to rip off this Hurricane before the Volt Switch registers. Beautiful play, and has a Weather Ball stored. Is this enough to take out the Whiscash? It takes out the Whiscash and able to win that game. Very nice energy management with the Pelipper. Good game. Up next we have gshaeser. Has a Toxicroak into a Marowak. This is a disaster. Looks like this is also in a Sylph Commander Cup format. So going to use Lantern on the swap and punished with a Grass type. But this Credilli is going to be taking neutral damage from the Hydro Pump. But Credilli is very bulky here. So Hydro Pump goes through, Credilli easily tanks it. And the opponent is trying to commit to a Bullet Seed farm down, but able to get to this last second Thunderbolt and potentially going to be able to force a shield from this Credilli. Very nice, but this Credilli is very loaded. Luckily, Toxicroak does resist all of the moves from Credilli, unless for some reason it's running Bulldoze, but most likely it's running Grass Knot Stone Edge. So going to tank the first Grass Knot. The opponent's going to get another move coming through here. Really nice no shield here, though, recognizing that you survive it. This Jellicent has a lot of work to do. In the back is an Alolan Golem. This is not great. Running Volt Switch. Has to shield up everything here. Has to shield up a Rock Blast, which really feels bad, but even that would have done enough chip damage that the Volt Switch is potentially going to be able to farm this thing down. Oh man, has to shield this as well. Another Rock Blast. Needs loaded energy for the Alolan Marowak as well, farming up as much as possible with this Jellicent. Shadow Ball takes out the Golem. Out comes the AWAC, and perfect timing on the Toxicroak swap here. Able to absorb the Shadow Bone, and this is going to allow the Jellicent to get to this Shadow Ball to be able to barely take out this AWAC. Really nice game there, gshaeser. And here it is, folks, the top battle of the week. This has been submitted to me by Stop Alcatraz, one of my patrons, and this is one of the most dynamic games that I have seen in a long time. So let's jump right into it. It's also against another content creator, Tommy Love, so check them out. Shadow Dragonite on a Defense Deoxys. This Dragon Breath damage is really chunking away, but honestly, even a Psycho Boost from a Defense Deoxys would almost one-shot this Dragonite. You can see how much damage the counters are doing. So going to protect this Dragonite, going to shield that Psycho Boost, and the opponent switches into an Umbreon. There is no hard punish to this Umbreon, so going to chip it with some Dragon Breath damage, and then go into the Shadow Politoed, and just going to go for some Weather Ball spam here. The opponent still has that Deoxys alive with some stored energy that's going to be kind of tough to deal with. And Shadow Dragonite is so glassy that it is going to require some shields. This Umbreon is so bulky, it's easily tanking these Weather Balls. Gonna throw another one here. This might have been a CMP tie, and it was. Has to let the Politoed go. Gonna come back in with the Dragonite and farm this down right before the Umbreon's able to get to a move. And it's a Charm A9 in the back. Gonna go for the Draco here, also bluffing a Hurricane and able to get the shield. But this is a disaster. Out comes the Lickitung. The Deoxys still has some loaded energy, but gonna shield up this Weather Ball here and then throw the Body Slam onto this Alola Ninetales. These Charms are really chunking. And gonna throw the Body Slam in the middle of the Charm animation to guarantee that the opponent cannot switch out and catch on the Deoxys. But out comes the Deoxys, able to throw this Body Slam and take it out. That Charm A9 is doing a lot of damage. So switches into the Dragonite to force the A9 to throw before you get to a Dragon Claw. Needs to get to a Body Slam. Lickitung survives with 1 HP and actually is able to lick down the Alola Ninetales. Very nice battle. Stop Alcatraz. Thank you everyone so much for submitting the footage. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoy the content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video.